Welcome to this YouTube channel on how to buy a business no cash down. I'm Carl Allen and I've been buying businesses now for almost 25 years, more than 250 deals in 17 different countries. So this playlist is all about deal making basics, the fundamental rules of what we do to take over someone else's established business without spending our own money. Here's the next video in the sequence. There are 6 in total.
Next, we're going to talk about the what. What can you now do as the business owner? And I'm going to major on 2 really cool things. The first is bolting on other businesses, and then secondly, how do you groom your business for exit, which is your big payday. Now remember this chart from earlier. Let's say you only had 5 qualified businesses in your funnel and you acquired one of them. But what if you went to see all 5 businesses and you could have acquired another one as well? The odds are at least one more will have been a step 1, 2 or step 3 negotiation. Well, let's just look at what happens. Now there are 2 very powerful things that happen when you bolt another business into what you already have. One is hypergrowth and the other is leverage. So when you bolt another business into your new operation, the first thing you can do very easily is cross-sell. When you acquire another business, those customers then become your customers and you can sell both your existing stuff to those new customers and then sell your new products and services from that bolt-on acquisition to your existing customers that you acquired in your first business. Now in this example, a business manufacturing, say, drugs and medicines can bolt on a complementary business that provides packaging. You can then sell your existing medicines to the packaging customers and vice versa. You can also bundle the 2 together to all your customers as a pre-packaged medical product and charge a higher price. Now what compounds this is you are able to cross-sell from a smaller overall cost base. Now I'm not talking about having bigger economies of scale as a new larger entity, although that is very valid. What I'm just talking about here is lower overheads. When you combine 2 businesses, you can always take cost out. The management of the acquired business number 2, is typically going to be the owner, so those costs come out, and if it's a parent company or a investor that's giving you the business, then their management fees are removed, and you can even look at combining site operations, administration, play the 2 sets of suppliers off against each other for better prices. The sky's the limit. So what happens is that your sales grow with lower proportional costs, so your profit increases at a faster rate than your sales, and we know from earlier that the value of a business is a multiple of its profit, so your wealth creation is rapidly enhanced. Let's look at an example. This is a deal that one of my clients, Peter, did last year. Now Peter owned a business providing packaging consumables for the pharmacy sector. The existing business had $2.7 million in sales revenue and a fairly small profit of $200,000. So again, using that 5 times multiple, Pete's business was worth $1 million. Now the bolt-on acquisition was actually a larger business, and that didn't matter. It's technically called a reverse acquisition, since larger businesses typically buy smaller ones, but the process is identical in the opposite direction. Now the bolted on company had $4.1 million of sales revenue and $500,000 of profit, and that was a free acquisition using the 10-step process from earlier. So Pete then did 2 things. He sold his existing products to his new customers and then sold the new products and services from the new acquisition to his old customers and generated $1.8 million of additional sales and some profit. And then what Pete also did was he took some cost out of the business. The business that he acquired, the owner retired. He was earning $150,000 a year out of his old business, so Pete saved that, and he also moved the 2 sites into one operation. They were about 10-15 miles apart, so he saved on rent, on utility costs, on machinery, on a whole bunch of different things. So when Pete started, he had a business doing $2.7 million in sales and $200,000 of profit. But by bolting that other business into it, and by doing the cross-selling and taking out some of the cost, the combined entity now had $8.6 million of sales and $1.5 million of profit. Now just looking at this in terms of the 8.6 million top line, the combined unit was now worth $7.5 million using the same 5 times valuation multiple of the increased $1.5 million profit. That's a $6.5 million increase in the value of the business and the value of Pete's wealth creation in less than 18 weeks. So find me a more powerful way to grow the value of a business or your own personal wealth in such a short space of time. So you may want to keep doing this to massively grow your business year on year, or you may be happy with just 1 or maybe 2 acquisitions and then get out of the business quickly for a profit. So no matter what you want to do and how long, there will come a time when you do want to sell up, either to retire, do something else and cash in. So remember my client JB, who emigrated to Brisbane. He didn't plan to buy his business, then sell it inside of 6 months, but he quickly put systems and processes into this business so he didn't have to be there every day. And he just got under the skin of his competition, so one decided to pay top dollar to take him out of the market. So, there are a few things you need to do to make this happen. Let's call this section Grooming for Sale. Now, the first thing you need to do is you need to make your business independent of you. It actually is independent of you legally, but you need to separate yourself from your business operationally. Now, I'm not saying don't go work in your business, but to sell it for top dollar, it needs to work independently of you. Now, a great example of this is McDonald's. Now, you may think I'm crazy when I tell you that McDonald's isn't actually a business. It's not. McDonald's is a system. And what's unique about McDonald's? Well, it's certainly not the hamburgers, the fries or the soda that it sells, although, they definitely satisfy a market need. I take my children there occasionally. No, the big USP of McDonald's is its system. McDonald's sets up each job in each restaurant so that everybody can do it. It's got a fantastic system, a great set of operations, world-class processes and simple trading so that everybody knows what they are doing. They're all individual cogs in a giant machine. Nothing is dependent on any one person. So that's what you need to do in your new business. It can't just work when you are in it. Your role as the business owner is to be the strategist and use some of the funds you raised in step 5 to put good employees in the positions to run the strategy for you, to run that business system for you. And then you spend your time reviewing the results, tweaking the strategy to make it grow quicker and be even more profitable. So think of yourself in your new business as the architect of a great building. You will design the building and you'll review its construction, but you will be not laying the bricks yourself. Your employees are laying the bricks to your blueprints and your specifications. Do you remember Mr. Burned Out Owner Manager that we talked about before? It's likely that some of your opportunities will have come from this type of seller, alongside either time-starved investors or changing businesses. But the key here is that you need to be the complete opposite of Mr. Burnout, not chained to the business, not working in the business tactically, but working on the business strategically. The system is then running the business for you to make it work completely independently of you. So it's the system that's what's important. The better the system is in your business, and the more your business is going to be worth to somebody else. 9 out of every 10 businesses I see don't have a system. So your business will be like a breath of fresh air to potential acquirers when you've fixed it. And do you remember the Microsoft and HP deals we discussed earlier? Both Skype and Mercury have both great systems and the businesses were independent of the owners. But what else was important? Now, these businesses were highly attractive to the respective buyers. Microsoft saw a 663 million user market to bombard with its existing products and could also integrate Skype into its existing software. So if you still wanted to use Skype, you had to own Microsoft products. And in HP's case, it wanted a massive leg up into the software industry. Software was a critical part of big business IT, and HP didn't really have any, so it needed that to stay in the game. The best way to make your business ultra attractive is to get under your competitors' skin, especially larger competitors. They're not as agile as the smaller business, they're not as fast paced. Big committees to make decisions. As a new smaller business owner, you can make decisions rapidly and outfox your larger competitors, take away their customers and eat their lunch. Do you think your larger competitor is going to spend months and months and years trying to outsmart you? No, if it's got tons of cash and also share capital, it's going to use it to take you out of the market by requiring you for a premium. I've seen it hundreds, if not thousands of times in my career. And we've spent the last hour talking about the 5 times profit multiple. Just look at these examples where acquired businesses were just being a pain in the butt to the competition, or were just so highly attractive to the acquirer that they were taken out of the market. We've talked about Microsoft and the value for Skype. It paid 82 times profit. At HP, I actually paid 44 times profit for Mercury. We just had to have that business. Facebook paid more than 1,000 times profit for WhatsApp. It actually paid 1,000 times the sales, let alone the profit. The deal was $20 billion in Facebook shares, and at the time of the deal, publicly available data shows WhatsApp sales revenue only being $20 million. That's because WhatsApp was a highly attractive business to Facebook. Johnson & Johnson recently acquired Acclarent in the medical sector. Again, a highly attractive acquisition. It paid 63 times profit. Acclarent was outfoxing Johnson & Johnson in one of its key sectors. So in summary, once you've acquired your first business, and whether you bolt others into it or not, make that business completely independent of you. Systematize it with a great strategy and great processes so it works whether you are there every day or not. And make your business irresistible to competitors by getting in their way and eating their lunch, by being more creative, more agile and faster paced.
So that's it for this particular video. The next video in this playlist will follow, and please check out all the other playlists and videos for everything you need to know to learn how to buy a business no cash down. In fact, I've crammed everything that you need to know into a special 90-minute webinar titled 3 Insider Secrets to Buy a Profitable Business Inside of 99 Days Without Cash or Knowing How to Run a Business. And here are the 3 big secrets, the 3 killer training topics. Think of these as hurdles to you becoming a business owner. First, I'll show you exactly what the 10 steps are to buy a business, and you must follow these in order. It's really critical. Second, I'll show you lots of case studies of deals structured using OPM, other people's money, and it's no more difficult than high school math. And finally, I'll show you how you can get others to operate the businesses for you, so you can do other things like spend time with your family or buy other businesses whilst enjoying the cash flow that your new business is generating for you. So to register for this groundbreaking training, just click on the link underneath this video on YouTube or type in this link into your browser. It's bit.ly/buy-my-business. And I'll see you on air sometime in the next week. Until then, bye for now.